Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This indeed is a very fascinating and inspiring event, an evening that I have come to second time in recent years. I'm extremely honored that Mr. Modi thought of me. Mrs. Modi is here as well. A remarkable couple that have a great vision and have devoted so much of their energies to some of the most wonderful causes in our times. My colleague Mamta Sharma ji, Anil ji, Tai, she's here somewhere, Tai ji, and all you good people. We are here to celebrate acts of courage. And as Neeta Kapoor ji told us, acts of courage are not in simple, single dimensions, but in our society, in our modern times, acts of courage come in a multifaceted form, come at different levels, different shapes, different aspirations amongst different people. And that's what's happened over 20 years with Godfrey Phillips, and I must congratulate them for it. I must say that coming to an event like this for someone from Indian politics itself is an act of courage. We've been defiled, and we've been defaced, and we've been maligned, and we've been kicked around, and we've been called names. Perhaps to some extent in a justified manner, but not entirely in a justified manner. Because after all, we are part of a whole family of human beings that inhabit the earth, and particularly that inhabit the continent of Asia, and particularly our own beautiful country, India. And it's sad that only a few years ago we spoke of great confidence, and we spoke of a dream, and we spoke of something remarkable happening in our own times. And some of us felt that we could walk tall, that we could actually say with confidence and joy, we could say that it indeed is a remarkable opportunity to be alive in these times. India was stirring, India was on the move. And then something suddenly seemed to go wrong. And of course, I think there are some of us responsible, not entirely limited to the political elite, but many of us responsible for things that went wrong. I would only say this without seeking forgiveness and certainly seeking accommodation. I would certainly say that things have gone wrong, but not as bad as we make them out to be. There are many things that are going right in this country. And those things are not simply things that are designed or promulgated or announced by governments of the day, the states and the center, but things that are ordinary Indians who are indeed not just ordinary but are extraordinary, are doing for us in our lifetime. And some of those people we saw today, some of these people have made enormous difference to the lives of so many people. And I think I certainly would expect that you would support the view that all of us here in some way will go back tonight as changed people. How long that change will remain is another matter, but we will go back as changed people. We will go back as people who perhaps cared a little bit more than we cared when we came here, who think a little deeper about these things than we thought when we came here, and who have a bit of extra determination when we return than the determination that brought us here. And I think that's the good thing that's happening in our society. And there will perhaps be a movement that from each little lamp, many more lamps, and from each flame of that kind, many other flames will be lit, and that India will again begin to stir It may not be during the tenure or the lifetime of a government. It may not be during the lifetime of some of us, but it certainly will be in the lifetime of our country. And I think that that's what we can celebrate here today, a determination to be good, knowing that it is not easy to be good, but it's determination to be good. And for those of us who feel that, no, it's too much of an effort and the hill is too high and too steep to climb, there's been some very, very good poetry recited this evening. But let me just say two things. One, my favorite character from literature and history, and I often rely upon stories that come from his remarkable life, Mullah Nasruddin. Mullah Nasruddin was once walking past a village, and there were screams heard from near a pond. Somebody was screaming to be saved from drowning. And there were a lot of people crowding the pond, the edge of the pond, saying, "Give us your hand. Give us your hand." And he wouldn't, and he kept screaming, please save me, please save me. Mullah went up, asked what was going on, and people said, he's a strange man, he's drowning. And it's been almost half an hour, and we've been saying, please give us your hand so we can pull you out. And the guy will just not do that. And he just keeps screaming, please save me, please save me. So Mullah went up to the edge of the pond and reached out with his hand and said, here, take my hand. And the fellow grabbed it. Mullah caught hold of his hand, brought him out. And people were perplexed and intrigued and said, why did this happen so easily? We were trying for half an hour and he wouldn't listen, and you just went up and you brought him out. And he said, well, it's simply this man's never given anything in his life to anybody. And he wasn't about to give his hand at the time of his death, that you save him. I offered him my hand, he grabbed it, and that's how I brought him back and brought him out. Now, there are some people who are just so accustomed to taking that they don't know that there are times when they must give. And I think what you've done here today is that you reminded us all, almost like an institutional Mullah Nasruddin, that there are times when you must give, not just always take. Something that you can give, and something that you give gives you a lot more in return, in a sense, than you're actually giving. And finally, with a couplet, खुदी को कर बुलंद इतना कि हर तकदीर से पहले खुदा बंदे से खुद पूछे बता तेरी रज़ा क्या है. I believe that these are the living embodiments of this couplet that we've met here. I salute them, I applaud them, and I believe that if somebody was to ask the spirit of true India, I would say just look at the array of men and women who walked on this stage, and one demised gentleman who's not with us, but whose family were here to receive the award. I consider this, for me, indeed, a great honor that you thought of me to be here. And I go back with an aspiration and hope one day, like Tai, I will be called back here to be given an award. Not just to give them away, but to get an award as well. Been giving for too long. Want to receive something as well. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.